It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Vocation Brewery and Manchester Marble Brewery. It's a collaboration and it is called Hop, Skip and Juice Hazy Pale Ale, coming in at 5.7% ABV in a 440ml can. Lovely can wrap on this. It really kind of dives out on you. I picked this up in Tesco. It's an exclusive beer to Tesco, the larger Tesco stores in the UK. £3 a can. Let's get it out into a glass, see what we get. Look at this. One finger, white head, hazy looking, straw coloured beer, slow moving carbonation rolling up the side. I mean, Vocation, there's a big argument at the moment in Tesco as to what is the best £3 can of craft beer, and a lot of people will say it's the Vocation. The orange writing, I think it's either life or death. I think it's called life or death. £3 a can, orange writing. If it's not life or death, it's another one of their beers. I can't remember the name, but just look for the Vocation beer. £3 a can, similar size can, black background with orange writing. I think it's called life or death. Anyway, into this one. So yeah, there's a big debate as to what is the best £3 can of beer in Tesco. It's either Vocation or North Brewing Company, or even the Brewdog versus Cloudwater, which when that came out was fabulous. Really good beer. I enjoyed that. The first release of it. I understand some people have said that the beer has changed a little bit, pardon me, since the initial launch of the Brewdog versus Cloudwater, but I've not bought it since. I've not had a chance. So anyway, there's a lot riding. There's a lot riding on this for Vocation, I think, anyway. I mean, if they're right up there with the top, this has to be a really good beer. Just to keep their kind of reputation. It's like Samsung bringing out the S8, and when they bring out the S9, it's an upgrade on the S8. So let's hope this is not necessarily an upgrade, but it's as good as the other Vocation beer for £3 a can. Let's get the aroma. Whoa, yeah, that smells brilliant. Really juicy, really tropical. Oh yes, yes, well done so far. Really punchy, punch bowl fruits, pineapple chunks, grapefruit, orange zest. I'm going to dive in. Cheers, everybody. That's incredible. I went for a second. It was that good. I went for a sneaky second sip of that. Stone the crows. Stone the crows. Fabulous beer. Fabulous beer. Full of tropical flavours and tastes. The one downside, I'm going to say it straight away, get it out of the way, is a little bit on the flat side. It's a little bit, even in the mouthfeel. It's not enough zing and not enough carbonation just to push the beer on the inside of the mouth. It's a bit like drinking juice. I imagine it's just a batch thing. I imagine if you drink this a couple of months down the line, you'll probably find a batch that has plenty of carbonation. So I'm not overly worried about that. That's more of a technical thing with the beer rather than a recipe thing. In terms of the recipe, it's perfect, it's bang on, it's fantastic. It's just a small technical problem where for me, there's just not enough carbonation. But hey ho, these things happen. Microbrewers, it's craft beer. It's what we're all here for, really, is to try something different, and it may not taste the same from batch to batch. That's the whole idea of handcrafted beer, if that makes sense. Flavour wise, it's smacking like pineapple chunks at me, and grapefruit and mango and orange and fleshy blood orange and tangerine and all them lovely kind of juicy, zesty flavours you get from fruit. Really lovely beer. Lovely, lovely beer. It might even be a tad better than Life and Death, to be honest, which is that upgrade I was talking about earlier, that from the S8 to the S9. I mean, it's a natural progression, really. A brewer of this quality, of Vocation's quality, will only want to improve. They will only want to improve as a brewery and progress. I've been following Vocation's journey, if you like. I had a few of their beers before they went into Tesco. They were very good. They've almost now become like exclusively now brewed for Tesco, again, which is fine. That kind of happened when I tried the Blueberry Waffle Stout. And I love that beer. I love that beer. That was the moment where I properly fell for Vocation. I was putting the wedding ring on Vocation's finger. I was like, there for me, that's the brewery for me. Because at the time, it was a £3 can of beer, which was unbelievable value for money. The breakfast waffle stout, for me, I loved it. I don't know what it's like now. I understand there's a version 2 of the beer. I don't understand why they changed it. Maybe you can comment in the comments box and let me know why it's now called version 2. For me, it was a fantastic beer. They didn't need to change it. Then you had the I was talking about earlier, the Life and Death, another great beer. This, a follow-up, is terrific. Yeah, Vocation, smashing it out the park for the £3 can of beer in Tesco's at the moment. And if you're new to craft beer, and if you're thinking, ooh, you know, I'm used to buying a slab of, let's say, Carling for 15 quid and you get 15 cans, that's £1 a can. I'm used to paying that sort of money. This is very different beer. If you tuned in, if you found this video somehow by accident, and you're watching this and you're thinking £3 for a can of beer, honestly, give it a go. It's worth it. It's value for money. You pay that kind of that premium for a much better quality beer. You can see the quality on the beer. You can see the natural haziness of it. It's not been filtered to the eyeballs where it's crystal clear. If I see a crystal clear beer these days, apart from lager, then I'm naturally kind of disappointed. I'm like, it's clear. I don't want it to be clear. That means all the good stuff has been filtered out and poured down the drain. I want the beer to be not filtered to the eyeballs. I want it to be hazy and have lots of flavour. I don't want muck and junk and rubbish and shopping trolleys and tyres and stuff in the bottom either. But I want it like unfiltered, like this type of canned craft beer. I'm going to rate it. I really like it. I'm going to take a mark off for that kind of whole batch issue thing with the kind of lack of carbonation. That's just unfortunate. These things happen. I probably would have given it a 10 out of 10 for that £3 price point if it had a little bit more carbonation. But hey ho, I imagine we're talking about, I'm reviewing this beer in June 2020. If I go back to Tesco's, July or August, try another can of this beer, I imagine it'll be a different batch and it'll be sparkling with carbonation, and it's just a small batch issue. But for me, how flavoursome it is, how good it is, for me it's worth a 9 out of 10. It's a 9 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box, subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews, give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! Cheers!